Hi everyone, we are from Group 30. My name is Muhammad Lemakin Beramdan and I'm with my group mates Jiang Yun, Ikram and Philip. Today we are going to have a discussion about the economic policies to promote sustainable development. Sustainable development is about meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs. It aims to balance economic growth, environmental protection and social well-being. At its core, it emphasizes two key principles: giving priority to the basic needs of the poor and recognizing the limits of our environment and technology. The concept gained global attention in the late 20th century as countries began to confront the long-term effect of industrialization, environmental change, and rising inequality. Today, it sits at the heart of economic policy discussions as challenges like climate change, deforestation are closely linked to broader economic and social issues. In this discussion, we will explore five main areas: the government role in promoting green growth, integrating environmental concerns into policy making, what are the SDGs, the role of international cooperation, and how sustainable development can help reduce poverty. Okay. My friend Jiang Yun will discuss what is the role of government in promoting green growth.
Hello. I focus on the government's role in promoting green growth. First, I believe policy frameworks play a key role. Things like carbon pricing and emission standards push industries to cut pollution. Second, public investment in green infrastructure, such as renewable energy and transport, helps lower emissions and also creates jobs. Third, subsidies and tax incentives can make green technologies more affordable, like making electric cars or sustainable farming more affordable and widely adopted. Fourth, market-based tools like cap and trade systems put a price on emissions and allow companies to trade allowances. This creates a financial incentive to innovate and reduce emission. And finally, international cooperation through agreements like the Paris Agreement helps countries work together on global climate goals. Overall, I believe governments play a central role in shaping a sustainable future.
Okay. Thank you, Jiang Yun. Now I'm passing the mic to my friend Ikram, who is gonna discuss how we can integrate environmental concerns into economic policies.
In my part, I'll be discussing why it is essential to include environmental concerns within economic policymaking. A clear example comes from California, where regions such as Silicon Valley and the San Joaquin Valley face serious environmental challenges, including air pollution and water contamination, despite being economically advanced. Even with billions invested, pollution remains a serious issue, particularly for low-income communities that bear the greatest health and social impacts. This highlights the need to move beyond short-term economic gains and consider the long-term consequences of environmental degradation. When environmental costs are ignored in policy decisions, the result is often higher health expenses, reduced productivity, and irreversible harm to ecosystems. To address this, environmental considerations must be integrated into the core of economic strategies. Tools like pollution pricing, stronger environmental regulations, and investments in sustainable infrastructure such as clean energy and public transportation can significantly reduce emissions, support healthier communities, and promote economic resilience. Ultimately, aligning environmental protection with economic policy is not just beneficial for the planet, it is a practical and necessary step towards ensuring a healthier, more inclusive, and sustainable future.
Okay, thank you, Ikram. Next, Jiang Yun is going to talk about what exactly are Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs and their economic implications.
As a student, I find the Sustainable Development Goals particularly relevant to our studies. Goals like SDG 8, which promotes inclusive economic growth and decent work, and SDG 9, focusing on sustainable industrialization and innovation, highlights the intersection of economic development and social equity. Implementing these goals can drive productivity, create jobs, and enhance infrastructure. However, there are challenges. Developing countries often face significant debt burdens, which limit their investments in essential sectors like education and healthcare. Even so, progress towards the SDGs could unlock major economic opportunities and create millions of jobs by 2030. In conclusion, the SDGs are not just the ethical goals, they also offer strategic pathways toward long-term sustainable economic prosperity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jiang Yun. Next, Philip is going to talk about the role of international cooperation in sustainability.
Thank you very much. So I would like to focus on the role of international cooperation in promoting sustainable development, especially from a macroeconomic perspective. Environmental challenges such as climate change or ocean pollution are global externalities. They affect multiple countries and require collective action. On one way, governments can address this through coordination public spending. For example, international climate funds or joint investment programs can stimulate demand for green technologies in both developing and developed countries. When countries invest together in sustainable infrastructure, such as clean energy, efficient transport, or circular economies, this creates positive spillover effects. It boosts aggregate demand in the short term and shifts the supply side in the long run by encouraging innovation and green productivity. Agreements like the Paris Climate Accord or the UN 2030 agenda not only align national goals, but also create predictable markets for sustainable goods and services. This can reduce uncertainty for private investors and shift global trade patterns toward low-carbon industries. Finally, international cooperation ensures that green transitions are inclusive. Wealthier countries can support lower-income nations through technology transfer and capacity building. This reduces inequality and allows more countries to participate in the global green economy, turning sustainability into a growth strategy rather than a cost.
Thank you, Philip. From what I mentioned earlier, one of the key principles of sustainable green development is about giving basic needs to the poor. Ikram is going to tell us what is the impact on poverty reduction.
Thank you. So sustainable development and poverty reduction are closely connected. When economic policies ignore environmental issues, it's often the poorest communities who suffer the most. They're more likely to live in polluted areas, have less access to clean water, and face higher health risks. For example, in California's San Joaquin Valley, pollution-related health problems are highest in disadvantaged neighborhoods, which demonstrate the disparity between the communities of Silicon Valley. These communities pay the price of environmental damage, even though they contribute the least to it. This is a clear case of environmental injustice. But when we design economic policies with sustainability in mind, we can actually help lift people out of poverty. Clean energy projects, for instance, brings a job to rural areas. Public transportation investments make it easy for people to access work and education, and protecting natural resources like air and water reduces health costs for families. By prioritizing for vulnerable populations and including their needs in environmental policies, we can make sure that sustainability supports fairness. In the long run, reducing poverty and protecting the environment go hand in hand.
Okay, thank you, everyone. To conclude, sustainable development is not about protecting the environment. It's about ensuring that economic growth is inclusive, responsible, and long-lasting. Throughout this discussion, we explored how economic policies can be powerful tools for promoting sustainability, from the government role in driving green growth to integrating environmental concerns into planning, aligning with the SDGs, strengthening international cooperation, and reducing poverty. Each aspect shows that sustainability and development go hand in hand. Achieving sustainable development requires coordinated action, smart policy choices, and a long-term vision. It's not only a moral responsibility, but an economic necessity. By investing in people, investing in innovation and the planet, we can build a future that benefits both current and future generations. Okay, thank you, everyone.